Well, everybody, I got my work clothes on. Today is a video of various jobs. It is pretty cold out here this morning, but I want to finish working on getting rid of the stuff in the garden. And also, my husband is going to be doing some old-fashioned chores as well. I hope you enjoy the video. Now let's get started. Chore number one is I'm going to start a fire outside so I can melt some wax. I need some candles, and I make beeswax candles. And then I will show you what chore number two is. Let's get the fire started. When we had the major garage clean out, I went through all of my candle wax and put it together. And so I'm cleaning up this little area here, and I'm also going to get the wax. This is soybean wax and it's beeswax. It's mostly beeswax in the bright yellow and in the white and the really pale yellow. I think there's a little soybean in here as well. People talk about my camp grill all the time. You can see it's very low to the ground. There's a story behind this little camp grill. The groundskeeper was going to throw it away because it broke. It broke off. It was laying over. And he asked us if we want to have it. And so we took it home. It's only 2 feet high. It's very short, but it works perfect for all of the things that I like to do here in the homestead. So let's go ahead and start our fire. I have some very old wood that I was collecting. And we have our teapot full of wax. Let's get this wax melted because I have another project to do. Working on my childhood chair. Now this is in really bad shape, and I want to see if I can restore this a little bit, and then I'll put it inside the house and go with my table. Lemon oil does wonders. I don't want to paint it. I want to keep its original varnish. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on this and see if I can get this looking so much better. All right, we're going to pour all of this wax into this so it's easier to pour. I added some brown dye to it and chocolate scent. Now let's go ahead and make the candles. And now we're going to work on the walnut dye. I'm a little late in the season, but that made the walnut dye even darker. Now the walnuts were sitting in a big kettle of water, well, the rainwater when it would rain, and it made it really dark. And I just took a sieve and I sieved out all of the debris, and I found these linen towels that were in the garage, and we're going to dye them really dark brown. Back in the old days, this is how they dyed their clothing. They used all kinds of different natural ways to dye. And I'm realizing that the longer you let your walnut sit, the darker the dye will become. No other dye added. I had these walnuts soaking for about 2 months. That's how I get it really nice and brown. Now to get the dye to set, you want to have a cup of salt to it. And now the leftover dye I can use all year, and this is what I use for my ink. As you see me use my feather pen, I use the dye as the ink. I just add a little bit of vinegar to it, so that way the dye doesn't get rancid. And now it's time to set everything up. And it would take about a day or two for it to dry, depending on the weather. We've had some snow here and there, and not a whole lot, but it kept it from drying out as much as I thought it should. It turned out the most amazing project ever. Through the years, you've seen me make this a lot, but never with the rich brown tone that the walnuts did. This was 100% free, all walnut dye, simply because I left the walnuts so much longer in the rainwater. Well, now I think it's about time for the wax to be done. It turned out amazing. I'm adding a few chocolate chips to the top of this candle, just to give it a little bit more of a bakery scent. I like doing things like that, trying new things. It's time to clean up and relax just a little bit, because then my husband has a job he wants me to help him with. And it's something that all of you said he needs to do. So he decided he would make a little workbench to put his log splinter on. These were just random pieces of wood that we had left over from our ceiling job. But it was free, didn't cost us nothing, and he was quite pleased with the end of the amazing project. I say it's amazing because we didn't have to go any stores, we didn't have to buy anything. It was stuff just laying around the house. It was such a fun day for me, finding stickers that I could use for in the jars and creating a whole bunch of gifts that for me personally didn't cost me anything. It was stuff I had way in my stash of things. You know, I'm starting to realize that I'm having more fun creating things than buying them. Now, I didn't grow up with a mother who did a lot of crafts and things like that, but I always loved crafts. I always loved making candles. I always love doing these things, and the older I get, the more I enjoy these type of things. Excuse the look of my hands, they have walnut dye on them yet, and in a couple days that will disappear. And now what I'm doing is making these candle melts, or they're called wax tarts. Years ago for my birthday, I got the cinnamon roll, and this was a mold that was handmade. And now, to put the finishing touches on, of course, the icing on the cinnamon rolls. Oh, they smell so delightful. And one of the little ones is great for starting fires. It's made with soybean wax and beeswax. So everything is pretty much natural. What do you like to do for Christmas? Or just do for a hobby in general? I don't sew or crochet or any of those things, but we all have certain hidden talents. Mine just happens to be I love making candles. And I love going to the store and seeing all kinds of candles and then coming home and seeing if I can make them. Well, my friends, we're almost finished with this video. I'll show you the finished of all these candles. And then I had one last chore to do. It was quite a bit of work, but it really needed done. And I think it turned out perfect. Thanks again for tuning in to see what I am doing here in Dew Valley, and I hope to see you again tomorrow, same time and same place. I hope I gave you some inspiration, some ideas of some things that you can do maybe this year for Christmas.